just a sec. He's
Sure, sure.
walking by. Let's see if that's
Okay.
cool. Um, Johnny wished us a good show, so.
Oh, hi, Johnny.
Oh, I know.
We have some visitors in the house today. We've got Diego.
Diego! Oh,
Diego's
Diego's
here.
here! Oh my god! Hi! Oh shoot! Oh yeah! Except, oh god, yes! Yay! Diego, how are
Hello.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome! I'm
We're
so
gonna
happy
get
you're
together
here.
one day, aren't we, girl?
I know, honey, we are.
We will.
Well, like I said, definitely tomorrow
It's-
night if you can. If you can still, let's do it tomorrow night for sure.
Yeah. I'll text you.
Cool.
What time? 9.
All right.
I'll be
we
available
are
after 6 p.m.
live.
your time or before
Okay.
like 5 p.m. So just
Yeah,
that
yeah, just
hour
send me a-
tomorrow night.
Yeah, just
I'll
shoot
let
me a
you know.
text. No worries.
Okay.
That's awesome. We'll do it. We'll do it. Right on. I'd love to.
All
Can't wait
right.
to see the studio.
I'm so
That'll
excited
be
to
good.
meet with you. Oh yeah.
Me too. Me too. We'll make it happen. Hello.
We are
people.
live
Hello,
now.
lovelies. Well, right on. Hello, Jem
there.
over there. Jem is here.
Hello.
Keep us happy, safe, and sound.
Yes.
Right on. Do not upset the Gem. Do not upset the Gem. She will come down hard on
Am
you.
I in your way?
She is to be
Beware.
feared.
You're good.
I love the music. I kind of want to keep it going throughout, but I can't hear if we do.
No worries. Let's go ahead and let it
that's
kind of
awesome.
fade out there.
Oh, really
Hey,
nice.
everybody. Welcome today to Virtually Live. Woo!
Yep. As you see, we are again missing a limb as we were before, as Johnny, your
We
Dracula
are.
Sex, is not here with us today. He's got
Yep.
another work thing again, which is fine. Damn that work taking him away from here, which is obviously the
I
priority.
know, right? Oh, it sucks. Yeah.
It totally does. I hope everybody has had a really awesome week. That's really cool. Tell me about your week, Faye.
It's been busy. Busy.
Yeah.
Lots of new events, lots of things. Just there's always things going on. How about you?
Just the usual, a lot of busyness, busy in VR, actually super busy in VR, but also busy
Awesome.
in, IRL. Also,
Mhm.
if you see me kind of contort and move, guys, full disclosure, my dad is in the room and, got to take care of him. I kind of can't leave him alone right now. So as a result, he will be moving a little bit by me. He is blind, so it's kind of hard. So if you see me move, just trying to make room for him. So that said, but yeah, so no, that's been really crazy IRL, and so so looking so forward to this and being with everybody here, having a nice breather. So we've got some fun stuff to chat
Definitely.
about today again.
Oh, I'm excited. See, I don't see all of the articles that we go through. It's always a new thing to me. So I'm just kind of excited.
Mhm.
Like, what's happening next?
Oh,
So what you
yeah,
got for us?
Well, so first of all, just an FYI, Draculus, he does put our. What happens is I will I'll gather our articles and research our articles, and then what I do is I don't give anything to Faye because she doesn't want to know them. She wants to be as surprised as you guys about whatever
Yes.
the articles are, which is awesome. That's a very cool perspective. But also with Draculus, I post them, and he basically takes that screenshot that you guys see. So he puts that into a slide, and that's as much as he does with it. So it's kind of also a surprise for him too.
Yeah. He
So
doesn't really read the
yeah,
articles either.
yeah.
It's fun for us to be able to
Johnny,
take a hot
he
take
always
on what
likes
we
to
think.
look at the pictures, not read the
Yeah.
articles. We know that's the truth.
Definitely.
So yeah, so we have different things. We're going to talk about obviously some fun tech stuff, but then some other random stuff that just kind of pops up. It's funny
Mhm.
researching articles. I learn a lot of interesting things, not just with tech and everything, but just everyday life things. So we'll be talking about some different stuff here. But one of the things I want to talk about, and listen, it's no secret. You know what? When Microsoft, got rid of alt space, and
Mhm.
is this me? I see people disappearing. Oh, they're like, we don't want to hear this.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Oh God, is this going to
We
be
all had
happening?
a
Oh no.
disconnection,
Oh,
unfortunately.
you did. Oh, okay
Yeah,
then. Well, no,
yeah,
that's
it wasn't
actually
just you
fortunately
this
because it's not
time.
just me.
Right,
I'm
right,
like,
exactly.
so everybody got screwed. I love it.
Yeah, yep, we did.
Not in a
I
good way.
love it. Shared
Share the
experience.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
was Peroxide's fault for the record.
share the pain.
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
Peroxide
Okay.
came in with this new amazing avatar, and suddenly we all just kind of crashed, and it's
Oh,
like, what
Too much
happened?
heat.
oh
Too much
wow,
heat.
that's amazing.
Too much heat.
Too much
Too
heat.
spicy.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to see it later
Wait
then.
till
I'll have
you
to see
see
it
it.
later.
It is
I can't wait to
fantastic.
though. I love that stuff. As you guys all know, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Peroxide, and I hold my peer support group and my social anxiety support group in the Spirit Cave, which he brought
Hmm.
over from AltSpace, and was
Yay!
it's like AltSpace was my home, but Spirit Cave was my bedroom, so it's a very personal place for me. And when he allowed me to have that in there, everything just falls into place. So yeah, Peroxide is I'm a huge fan of Peroxide. He's an amazing guy. Um,
Yes.
so the first thing I want to talk about, this is now okay. So listen, I I'm very out there with things. I put my cards out there, and I've made it very, I haven't made it a secret. I've been was really unhappy, as many were, when Microsoft decided to kill off AltSpace, right? As I like to refer to it, as digital genocide. So that's
Oh.
something that I'm probably never going to be really, content. I love Microsoft products. I always have, and I have so many of them, but that really put a thing in it for me. There's always going to be something kind of stuck in my craw, so to speak, because of that. I was just really
Hmm.
painful. However, Microsoft does, really do some good things, and so they've got this thing. They had their 14th Ability Summit, is what it's called, and what it does is it focuses on the assistive products that they make in collaboration with others. And there is something that they have, this neural voice tool for speech for people with speech disabilities, which is amazing. And
Hmm.
so here's this thing. There's this Azure AI, Azure. It's kind of like along with that, with AI powered audio descriptions, things like that, and Azure AI Studio, it enables devs with disabilities to create machine learning applications, which is
Oh,
fantastic.
wow. That's
Um,
cool.
they have done some really neat updates. They talked about at the summit. So they've updated their Seeing AI tool, so to speak. It's an app that's on Android devices. It's also on iOS. I had found, and it helps blind and low vision folks to use their camera on their phone, and they get like AI powered narration to understand more of the world around them, so to speak. It'll provide a brief summary and some detailed descriptions of images. It can scan
That's
documents.
awesome.
So, like, if people are out at a restaurant, they can, scan the bill, and then they can ask about specific items on the bill or the price of the bill.
Hmm.
Um, it also helps to identify people, which is obviously something very serious for them. It's neat because it can also read handwritten text, identify currency, colors, levels of brightness, things like that. And so they've updated that to have more languages, and richer AI generated descriptions, which is incredible. But I'm going to go on this side of you because I turn my
Awesome.
neck and I'm just like so hard for me to
Oh,
turn my
sure.
neck to that side.
This is
Um,
better.
they also have come up with some playbooks, so to speak, with guidelines for best practices in areas like building accessible campuses, for education and things like that,
Hmm.
greater mental health support, a lot of cool stuff like that. So that is
That's awesome.
really important things that they do. And I have to give a shout out to that they're involved in that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
I did not realize they were involved in so many of those types of things.
I
How do you
didn't either.
did you realize that? Is that news to
No,
you?
I didn't. I didn't realize that at all. That's really awesome. I mean,
Mm.
as the tools are being developed and more technology is getting into the hands of consumers and things, we're getting the capabilities of having that like the universal translator type thing with like Star Trek, like you're used to,
Yeah.
things
So
like
we'll have
that. Yeah.
phasers, and we'll have
No, I
teleport.
don't think that that's an accessibility option, but
The little
I
little
mean,
beam me up Scotty action going on,
no.
which would be really awesome. Because we all like to do that in Dungeons of
Whoa,
Eternity.
you just popped out
We're all
right
like,
there.
beam me up Scotty. Whoops. So, yeah, so I think that's really, really cool. Guys, let me see you out here, if jumping up and down, if any of you knew that they did any of this stuff with accessibility or anything like that. Was anyone aware that they did that? I love that dog. That's
Yeah,
just
it's
so
all
cool.
pretty much
Oh, you
surprised.
did know
Oh, we
about
got a
that.
couple.
Oh,
Hmm.
Nagy, how did you find out about it? How have you heard about it?
Oh, sorry.
Your
What was the question?
megaphone.
About the knowing about the things they were involved in outside of just the tech, about the accessibility and their ability summit and all that stuff.
Well, I didn't know about that specifically, but I know of, and nor am I surprised that technology is being used to help people with disabilities. But yeah,
Mhm.
I was only half listening. To be honest, I I had one headphone on one ear while I was walking downstairs.
Oh, that's okay.
And I
That's
Oh, no.
okay.
No worries.
but yeah,
That's
and
okay.
also my space bar hit was kind of arbitrary, to be completely honest.
Oh,
That's all
yeah.
right.
That happens
Live,
accidentally sometimes.
live VR, all this stuff happens, right? So, no, but that's
Hey, it's
Yeah,
virtually
yeah,
live.
ADHD.
virtually live. There you go.
Hmm.
Was anyone else available who is not hitting their space bar? Does anyone else know anything about it? This kind of stuff that they're involved in, huh? What do you guys think about it? Does anyone have any thoughts on that? Oh yeah, out here, static.
Yeah, honestly, just over the years, it was always great seeing the videos where, the teams were making these accessibility controllers, like the accessible controllers for the 360 even. It'd have
Hmm.
like four
Oh.
different D-pads and all sorts of different buttons. And, if
Hmm.
somebody just had one arm or something, they were able to kick ass at Gears of War, and have a
Right
great time in
on.
Call of Duty.
That's cool.
Nice. Oh,
That's
see,
super
that's
cool.
really cool. Yeah, I didn't realize that they were involved in so many of those things. Um, that's really incredible though. Um,
Hmm.
so I want to throw here at you just a little announcement. For people who love these few games. So Meta removed 3 games on the 15th from the store. So I don't know if you guys remember the VR pet app BOGO. Do you remember that with the virtual
Oh
pet?
yeah.
Did we all like have
Bogo.
that to play with a
I
little
do
bit? That little
remember
I
he was
never
a
that.
purple
played
guy,
it,
right?
but
Wasn't he?
I was aware of it.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah.
apparently that was a super, the Tamagotchi stuff. It was like a Tamagotchi thing, like a virtual pet. Tamagotchis were a huge thing, right? And apparently they're making a comeback. And virtual pets are really, really a big deal, especially like,
Hmm.
in VR, people are loving them. As we see the cute
Yeah.
doggy that we have with us today, which is nice. Um,
Yeah.
so
Everybody likes their
they,
virtual pets.
yeah, and people are really upset that they
Hmm.
they removed that, and they
Yeah.
also removed Dead and Buried 1 and Dead and Buried 2. So let me see you guys jumping up and down. Anyone use
Oh.
any of the 3 of these things? Any of the 3 of these that you guys have played or anything? Yeah, because yeah, it seems that people are really kind of a little distraught about it, and I'm kind of curious about it. They removed Echo VR last year, as we know,
Right.
and that had such
Boo.
a thriving community that the
Boo.
community has
Huge,
kept it
huge
going, right?
following.
Now, let me
Yeah.
ask you, anybody play Echo? Anyone who plays that still? Yeah. Ark, tell me a little bit about that. When that came about, how'd you feel about that?
I thought it was incredibly a stupid decision, to be perfectly blunt. I mean,
Hmm.
they want to build, on,
Hmm.
you know how I can rant, so I'm going to try to censor this one.
Go
But
ahead. No, no, no.
It's
Rant, rant,
okay.
well,
rant away,
Go
my
for
okay.
it.
friend. Trust me.
If you're
So
passionate
Meta wants
about
to,
it, go for it.
Meta
Yeah.
wants to keep building a community and expand VR, and they're trying to do it in such a kind of top-down structure, which is just does not make sense to me. I mean, here they had a thriving community, of very passionate people, and
Mhm.
Bosworth, I watched his AMA where he's like, yeah, they're passionate about as all get out about things, and he's talking about them like they're a small community. Well, duh, VR is already a niche community as it is. Of course, any actually active, community that's in the thousands is going to look niche compared to say, a Halo following or,
Mhm.
StarCraft or, World of Warcraft. Like, duh, those are massive. You can't put those in the same category. VR is still
No.
niche. So, so they
Yes.
should have
Mhm.
just should have built on what was there, expanded that, and they gave no support to it. They didn't develop it. They hollowed out, the development team. Like,
Mhm.
they're like, well, it's doing fantastic under that context. So just
Mhm.
like
Mm.
that just was it was a brilliant game. It made no sense, especially because I only brought half the game. For those who never got to play the other side of it, Echo Combat is like 10 times better than Echo Arena was. And that's was PCVR only. And just like I thought it was a fantastic game and was thriving given that it was given no support and no expansion, no additional development, no full port to VR. I mean to standalone VR. So that was just a complete wasted opportunity on their part. That was
Definitely.
objectively stupid. But I'll get
Now,
off my high
are you
horse.
part of the community
Mm.
that are you part of the community that my headset's just not comfortable? Sorry. Are you part of the community that is still involved in playing and keeping it going and everything?
The one where you have to like download the mod. I haven't got involved in that.
Yeah.
I played it,
Okay.
I wouldn't say like passionately regularly, but I played it enough, when it was still, on the Quest. So I don't
Okay.
get it. That was just a mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I played Echo a little bit. I tried to play a little bit, and I found that obviously, I get the community strong, but I unfortunately had experiences like many people have when they go into Rec Room or VRC, where you go in there
Mhm.
and the kids are really awful. I had some
Mm.
super bad experiences with the younger folks
That's too
just
bad.
being outright mean, and
Yeah.
really bad. And I
We've
thought,
all been
man, I don't
there.
want to be around this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So so I guess if finding the adults of the communities that are really passionate about it would have been really nice. But I mean, it was
Mhm.
fun because the difficulty level, like the skill involved was amazing to me. I was trying to fling that thing around and I'm like, "Oh my god, I suck so bad," right? And I grew up as an athlete in real life and I was in here and I'm like, "I'm sorry, but I am not a VRthalete," is what I guess I'll call it.
We are the
I'm just like flinging that thing everywhere. Like, I probably knocked the coffee off of a waitress's platter in France the way I was throwing that thing around.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
but yeah, there's a lot of different things. Does anyone else have any thoughts on the Echo thing you
10
want to
points for
share?
that.
I have a thought.
Oh, can you jump up and down
Mhm.
so we know who you are? We have to Meggy you. Oh,
Here.
yeah, Naggy.
Gosh. There you go.
All right. All right.
Oh, is it
So this
Naj?
time
I keep saying Naggy.
Yeah.
Sorry if it's Naji.
no
No worries.
no worries. Anyway, so I unfortunately never got to try Echo VR. I got my Quest 2 this Christmas.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Something that I find, on top of something even more stupid, on top of the pre-existing stupidness that Ark was talking about, is the fact that people have spent enormous amounts of money on cosmetics and DLC for Echo
Yes.
VR, and Meta has not reimbursed anyone,
Mm.
even though they just
Wow.
almost without
That's
notice
horrible.
took the game down, right? And I mean, so that this is like, not only did they destroy a community, but they also robbed people blind just with more steps. But it's basically robbery. I mean, in every kind of legal jurisdiction like this, they should
so
be
wrong.
sued for this. I mean, because
Yeah.
and in the US there was actually there was an Echo VR competition that people would compete for a grand prize of $10,000 for. That's how thriving Echo VR was. And so
Such a shock.
so I just question the intelligence of Andrew Bosman and Mark Zuckerberg, when there's just a slight decline in monthly users, and I think that warrants shutting down the game and not reimbursing anyone who spent any money on any cosmetics or DLC. I mean,
Gosh.
yeah, so that's my thoughts on there. So you know what,
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
mean, the game
It
looked
is all
great,
really
but the dev company, not such a great dev company.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and it's true. And listen, there's good and bad, like there is in the world with everything, and there's some good parts about things, and then there's some bad parts about it. And I mean, I'm just kind of surprised. It's such a letdown. They know how strong the community is about that. They knew how involved the community was. It was such a major thing. And actually, they posted video with Zucky playing, himself and doing all that stuff. I mean, they played it. They get it. They're aware of the community. So it just kind of surprised me, that they decided that was going to happen. It just doesn't seem right. You have a loyal community, a loyal following, and that happens, and it's such a letdown. It's not supporting them, which is not cool. Anyone else have any thoughts on that? If you do, give a little jump up and down or anything like that. Yeah. Okay. Let's go with Kitty.
I just want to say, like, in terms of the not reimbursement, yeah, I agree completely. It's dirty. But I'm sure that they had something, like they've got all lawyers in the world, right? I'm sure that there was something in that
Buried.
end user license
Yeah,
agreement. Yep. You know,
Yeah.
the
something
fine
that
print
says
that basically
it's
says you're
yeah,
paying us so you can use this, but you don't actually own it and you have no rights to it.
yeah.
So
You can
Okay,
only use
that's
it
the
during the
unfortunate thing.
service being
Yeah.
available.
Multiverse. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's totally true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be
Oh my
under the
gosh.
terms.
Does any Static? Did you have something you wanted to say? I wasn't sure if you were jumping or
Yeah,
not.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I was gonna echo what Kitty was saying. Just the whole TOS thing, they cover their butts with that for sure. And regarding the game, it was free, and I loaded into it, and I was just blown away. You know, I played PCVR
Mhm.
before that, but the first match you go in there, you're like, oh my god, this is amazing, and it's free. Every time I went in there, I was like, I feel like I should be paying $5 every time. You know, it was that good. I don't know why they got rid of it, but you know, there was obviously a reason.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, whatever their reasons are, uh, I guess it's not for us to know. I mean, and here's the thing too. Many times they get rid of things and they give a reason, but that's not always really the truth, as we know. So we're not always going to know the true reason for things. But
Mm.
I don't know. I just sometimes I feel like some of these companies, they need to stop and think. Just like with Microsoft, what they did with AltSpace. I get the business decision. I get they wanted it for Mesh. I mean, but here's the thing. I mean, there were like what 4 or 5 different in different companies. There was an individual in AltSpace. There were people who were willing to purchase AltSpace and made offers to, and Microsoft's like, no, we don't
Mhm.
want to sell this, and I think when you build up a community, when a community puts in years of blood, sweat, and tears and love and their heart and soul, or they put in their money, they put in all that stuff, it just, I
Yeah.
don't know. I get it. Business is business, but you know what? There has to come a part. Here's the thing about VR, though, guys. Yes, it's a business, but look at VR. It's about connection, right? It's about connecting with other human beings across the world,
Mhm.
like we are. This is all about connection, communication, being together. You have these games coming out saying, "Hey, we
Absolutely.
want this to be a group experience. Get a team of people together to play things like that." This is what it's about. So I get it in industry. I've worked in business many years in management. I understand that, and I'm not. I get it. You got to make a buck, right? Okay, but here's where you have to draw the line. At some point, you have to give a little. That you got to write some stuff off once in a while. That's not going to destroy your company because you're so massive. Because of the fact that it builds the brand loyalty. Also, other
Mhm.
projects and other products that you have in your pipeline. You've got a loyalty following that's going to help you in the end too. So I just think that
Yeah.
VR, it's kind of like a Wild West, as we know, in many ways, but we do understand that they are really building things up about community with VR. And that's why I think that when they make these decisions that affect the community in those ways, I think it does a disservice in so many ways. And it doesn't honor the community, it does not show respect, and it shows they have no loyalty to the community that has been so loyal to them. I just
Oh,
think
that's
in
true.
general, it's very frustrating. Jen, did
Yes.
you have a thought?
Are you
I think
muted?
you're muted,
I can't
Jen.
hear you, babe. You're muted, hun.
Oh, can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, I
there you
gotcha.
go.
Okay. Yeah, so I kind of have a question because I own a game and it's Dance Central and
Oh, I have that.
the
Mhm.
devs have not gone into it and it's not fixed. So like the only thing every time you load in, you're still doing the very beginning of the thing and that's it. You can
Mm.
move further, but it doesn't save any of your progress because
Oh
it's
no.
not been touched at
I didn't
all.
know that. I haven't
So
played
like
it in a long
Mm.
time.
yeah,
Okay.
if you go in, you're reloading at the very beginning of the game every time
Oh
when you do that
no.
first dance off. And then every time you leave, you're back in at the very beginning of that game. So I
That's sad.
wonder if
Oh
that's
my
something that we
god.
can go to them and get your money returned because it's been, I think, about 6 or 7 months like that.
Wow. Well, it brings up another thought too. Like with that game, who my one of my favorite games, Neverboard. We've gone in and
Mhm.
played that,
Oh,
right?
never bored. Yeah.
Okay, Neverboard was amazing. For those who didn't play it, you would go ahead and spawn in, and you'd have 4 chairs, and you'd sit there, and it was a rainy day outside. You'd see through the windows. It was a nice
Mhm.
little area, and you had this table in front of you, and you could choose. I think maybe between 4 games or so, and one of them, it was amazing. You have this, it was your turn. You draw a card to tell you whether to go right or left, and you would move these little pirate chests, right or left,
Oh,
and it was
so
like a
cool.
little pirate game. There was a ship. There was little, little octopi with their little things coming out. There were sharks floating around in the water, and you hear this "arr" all the time, which I just stuck with me.
Mhm.
And It was brilliant, and then you had these just a few different games on there that were
There
incredible,
was
like a
trivia.
Trivial Pursuit type of game. Yeah, trivia. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
I mean, these were it was the most brilliant app because you could sit there, you could play all these different games, you could interact with up to 4 people total, and if you
Mhm.
wanted to play by yourself, you could go in there and they would populate
Mm.
the other 3 chairs with these
Yep.
plants and give them names, and they have plants that you'd be playing with these plants. It was cute. And um, I mean, I just loved it. But the thing is, you could also every day you could get like a certain amount of coins if you checked in, and use those
Mhm.
for little things like condiments and little accessories and things. But you could also purchase them. So I think about people who purchase things in there are
Mhm.
completely out too. They put money
Oh
towards it,
yeah.
and
Extra
so it's like
games. Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
this whole thing, you purchase the game, and then if you have it, the people with you can play it, but you don't have to purchase it each person. So I just look at
But
that
then
and I
they
think
just
now
quit
things,
it
yeah,
and they
it's
don't
suddenly
even let you go in anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
it disappeared, right? And I was able to go in at one time and just sat there, and that's it. No game, no nothing, no plants,
Yeah.
nothing. You literally just sat in that
No,
room, and you couldn't invite your friends to come join you anymore. And
it's
I think that
frustrating.
was so sad. Yeah, that was such a brilliant original
Yeah.
idea, and it was incredible.
Mhm.
Now, did anybody here, by the way, play Neverboard? Let me see you jump up and down
Yeah.
if you did. Yeah, Jem,
You
you did.
did.
Jem, what did you think about
Yeah,
that?
I was excited because I actually thought I was gonna buy the next game, which was the Mozak one that they kept
The Mosaic with the
advertising in
Mona
there.
Lisa mosaic. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I
Puzzles.
was excited because I went in there a lot to play, and it was fun because I mean, I look for things like board games, I mean, we have Catan,
Hmm.
but that
I
was
know.
just different because it was multiple games in there, and
Yep.
but yeah,
My
I
my understanding is Catan, that it's the same people that have Catan, and I had
I
heard that
love
they kind of dropped the
Mm.
ball
Catan.
on updates on Catan, that it kind of stalled on that too. I know Razor, you play Catan. What's your thought, Razor, on all this?
Yeah,
Because you're familiar.
I absolutely. Oh, I love board games.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I love Catan. It's such a good game. I have the board game in real life, and
Hmm.
Oh, cool.
every once in a blue
That's
moon,
awesome.
I'll have people come over and we'll play Catan.
Hmm.
But
Oh
Does
yeah,
it still work?
Neverboard.
I mean,
yeah, it
is
still
well? Let me
Catan?
ask you:
works.
is Catan still
Is it
working? I mean,
wait, is
Yeah.
it like taken away? I haven't played it in a
well,
while.
No,
That's
I
the
no, no,
name
no,
of the
no,
actually
no, no.
played
game,
it the
is
other
it? Oh,
day, and you
Oh,
can still
okay.
play it.
whew.
I play it
Okay.
like at least once a night because it's a relaxing thing for me to
Yeah,
play.
Okay.
I usually play,
yeah.
yeah, but it's still
So
playable.
okay, because
Okay.
here's the
But
question, because people have mentioned it to me, and I wanted to get it, but I never did. And I was thinking of getting it, and then suddenly this happened, and I'm like, oh, they're the same devs that did Neverboard, and I heard they have an updated Catan. So my thing is it worth it for me to still get it, or
Are
is it
they
going to be
gonna
gone next
delete
week?
that now too?
Yeah,
oh no, they
Jem.
Catan is
better
Yeah.
not.
not
It's
a
so
game to
good.
be updated anyways. It's just basically the
Okay.
board game itself. So it
Ready to
doesn't
go?
need an
Okay.
update. Yeah, it's already just ready to
That's
go.
cool.
It's like playing any normal game that you would have. So it doesn't need updating for it.
See,
Mm.
but Neverboard didn't need updating either, except for Mosaic. They could have kept
Mm,
those same games and
Yeah,
kept it running. So
yeah.
that's my
yeah, I
Mhm.
concern,
remember
that they
that.
will not support Catan. Razor, what were you gonna also say?
Well, I mean, I remember with the Neverboard, I at least, if I didn't play it, I at least would show up and grab their free coins like every day or whenever I remembered. And I really collected just like a huge sum of those coins.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I
And
know,
then,
right? Yeah.
I
Poof.
mean, the only time I really played social, I played it a couple of times. I think it might have been with you one of the
It
times,
was.
Psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I wish that I would have played it more with people. I mean, all those
Mm.
coins
It's
I
fun.
collected, but then it started to not work very well, and then it said
Mhm.
something like it's incomplete, and then now I don't know. It's probably
Now it's
gone.
just
I haven't really.
defunct.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't really use it anymore. But yeah, there's that. It had. You're right. It had. It was very original because the board games, um, they were, very 3D. It wasn't just a flat
Mhm.
board. It had, little animated characters and stuff all over, like you said, the
Oh,
the the
yeah.
uh, treasure
It
Mhm.
hunt
was
one you were talking
incredible.
about.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Oh,
that
so
had
many
like
good
little
games.
pirate stuff and
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Catan is great though. I didn't know it was the same people that made Catan. That's a really good frenemy
That's what I was
game.
told. Yeah. Well, I might download it, and if you guys feel that it's something that is more standalone like that,
Ditto.
because I am kind of
Yeah.
intrigued with that. Yeah. Yeah. We should go and
Yeah,
play.
Razor, you sold us
Somebody
on
can
it.
teach me how to play.
It
Yeah, I was
is.
gonna say
Guys,
somebody can
fun.
teach me to play. Let's all go in, guys. But and again, and this is the
I'll
thing
show
too,
you how to
because
play.
okay, because as you know, I'm
Sorry.
very, very much about certain things. I'm very much about supporting, fellow people in their projects and in their shows, and I like to, I like to promote people, in my stuff. Like in my haunt, I will put stuff for people at the end that promotes their things, and I'm very much about collaboration and about community and all these things. And so when I see something like this happen, it makes me sad because it also reminds me of what I've seen happen. We have these apps and we get to go in here like in Banter. There's beautiful, amazing worlds. We have fun experiences. We get to enjoy fun shows, different events with people. But sometimes when you want to go and just sit and talk with people, you're like, God, where can we go to just sit and talk, right? And I've mentioned before that VTime XR, that is an incredible app that is kind of it's slowed down a lot after the pandemic. It was, people got in there during the pandemic, but it's kind of slowed down. I am not abandoning that because I think it is brilliant. I have moments you go in there and you sit. You can have up to 4 people, just like with with Neverboard, 4 people sitting, and it can be complete strangers if you want to. People will message you and say, can I join you, and you can come in. I met some incredible VR friends that I still have to this day in that app as strangers, and the idea is you sit in an amazing location and you just sit and talk, and that's it. You can't move, you can't do anything. You just have a conversation. And sometimes that's necessary because we get so caught up in doing events in VR and doing activities, which are great and fun. But you know what? Sometimes we forget to really sit and just connect with another person,
Get
and
to
learn
know
about
them.
people, engage in
Yeah.
them and with them. Yeah. And
Yep.
so that's why when I see something like that, I'm worried about that app in particular too, because I don't want it to go away. And it's got the most beautiful. There are times when I will go by myself in there just to sit in the surrounding. I'll go sit up on the space station out there with all the plant things coming by me, and I'll go sit underwater. I'll go sit, looking at a balcony of a restaurant in France, and there's the Eiffel Tower and smoke from the
I like the
chimneys, and
cave cliff where you're like
oh my God,
you're on
yes,
this like really, really thin
side of a cliff.
like
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
like
like
you
one
feel
of
like
those.
you're gonna
I
fall off.
Right?
It's
I'm not a
amazing
climber. I don't know what it is, but like people climbing straight up a cliff, a flat cliff space, and they somehow hammer in this cot that sticks out, and that's their little thing. They slip, and literally they can fall right off. But they have the most amazing one where you sit on that and you're looking down and around. It's the most realistic thing. And those damn birds come like around you. It's like, oh my
Yeah, you see
God,
the
it
eagles
is
flying
incredible.
by.
Yeah, it's
Aw.
gorgeous. So I suggest, I recommend it for people to go just to zen out, just to go by yourself and sit somewhere, or maybe if you want to have a chat with a friend and catch up instead of a phone call, but you don't want activities. And let me tell you, you're in somewhere like Banter, you don't want to just sit and talk because it's phenomenal in here. There are, we know Aline makes the most amazing experiences, right? We're all like, ooh, let's talk, but you know what? Let's go down a slide, right? It's like it's so hard to stop yourself from enjoying this place. But in there, you are forced to just, sit and talk with
And
people, and it's
be.
incredible. Yeah, just to be. Yeah. So anyway,
That's cool.
that's where. Sorry, I go off on the tangent, but I'm very adamant about that thing, and that's where I met my first VR friends, and that's where I really started to meet people. So for me,
Cool.
it's got a lot going for it. So check it out, guys. It's a V time, which is incredible, and you go in and you make you make an avatar, and you can then go from there. Um, but with these different things, like for example, the Tamagotchi thing, the BOGO, I remember that cute little, I think it was purpley or
Yeah.
brown little creature. And
Mhm.
things are becoming really big with these virtual pets, like I said. And there's a startup actually called Wind Up Minds. They raised 1.6 billion dollars in pre-seed funding, and they're going to develop realistic AI pet simulators that they say are more complex and more believable than any in previous apps that have come before.
Oh,
And
wow.
this is a company that was, I guess, founded in August of last year. And it's made up of developers from Oculus, Magic Leap, and many other companies. And they're going to develop more games and experiences around virtual pets and creatures for VR and MR, which is really kind of fun. And I'd like to see what they do because now with AI, who knows what they're going to be coming up with, right? They have some really amazing things. And
That is
I have to
amazing.
say, I kind of, you hear about how people who are devs from certain companies and, oh, all these apps compete and all this stuff. First of all, I'm going to just be honest. That's stupid. Don't compete with one another, collaborate with one another. I never understand the concept. It's competition. Oh, this app during this app, my app's better. This app, you know what? That's stupid. This is VR. This is about people. And you know what? You are so much richer to collaborate with people than to compete with them. And I just don't understand. That's why I love collaborating with people on things in VR. And so when it comes down to it, you look at things like that and everybody's saying this one's this. Every app has their special gem.
They
Every
do.
app may have similarities, but there is something special about each app that you cannot recreate in another app. Okay.
Yep.
And that's why I don't understand why people I don't know why they do all these kinds of back and forth. Guys, just collaborate, work together. Look at the amazing things people can build. When you look at these devs who are coming from one company and go to another, oh, devs from Google, devs from whatever. You know what? Sometimes they get upset and they leave. Sometimes they get their golden parachute. Sometimes they do this. Whatever their reasons are, fine. But I don't think it should always be that brilliant minds should have to go come together somewhere else because they were at a place that didn't appreciate them or at a place
Mhm.
that they weren't heard or that they couldn't come up with their brilliant ideas. I love it when I hear that devs from different companies that were competing and were competitors before, that they come together and they form something of their own, or they start to form and build for the
Mhm.
community. They make things for our VR community. And I absolutely love that. Collaboration is important. And sometimes they didn't come together because of the best of circumstances and whatever their personal situations were. But what that does is it brings together people who were formerly competing and it shows the brilliance of what we can come up with in this VR world of ours, in this if we just work together. If all these devs from different apps and different companies work together, my God, it would be endless possibilities. There would be the most amazing things that
Yep.
we could see. So I don't know. I feel I'm sorry. I just feel very strongly about that kind of thing. Anybody have any thoughts that they want to? I know.
That's
Shut up,
awesome.
Psycho. I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
Arc.
so
Yeah.
awesome. So you hit on something that just wonderfully happened this past Friday. I don't know if anyone knows who's VR with Jasmine. She has a YouTube channel, but she's also the CEO
Yes.
of Impact Reality.
Mhm.
She was interviewed on Q2C Gamer, which is another VR podcast that happens weekly, and part of her team also runs that podcast, by the way. And she's been working to build a community with the Team Beef people who try to bring flat screens to VR. There's also a team called Flat to VR, and they've all got together. And because of the community building capacity of VR, they're now bringing instead of. I think a lot of people know that like Team Beef and also there's a couple teams that have tried
Mhm.
to bring flat games into VR, but through
Right.
modding, right? This is now she brought all these different elements together through the Impact Reality team, and they're actually now working properly with the original developers of the flat screen version to bring an actual port into full VR and make it available on the Quest store. This would not be a mod of these games, and by doing everything you're talking about, Psycho, the
Oh.
power of VR
Mhm.
to create a community
Wow.
and to create and
Wow.
bring
Yeah.
and to collaborate and to do something
Awesome.
very special. So I mean, if anyone gets a chance to, I'd strongly advise watching at least that episode of Q2C Gamer from last week. It
Yeah,
just
I'm gonna
blew
ask
my
you about
mind.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and on her Discord, on Jasmine's Discord, I even mentioned that like,
Mhm.
oh my god, what just happened? She's like, surprise! Like, oh
Could you
my god,
post it in
game.
event snaps in the Banter VR Discord? Go to event snaps and post that for us so that we
Yes.
Yeah,
have a
I can put a
reference of
link to
where it'll
that
be
to the
posted.
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah, I'll put a
Nice.
Thank
link to
you.
that to the
Thank you.
YouTube.
Thank you.
But I mean, it's exactly what you're talking about, Psycho. I mean, she created this entire she bit by bit, actually. And remember what I was saying about with the mistake
Mhm.
of getting rid of Echo VR that was already
Mhm.
she like took bit by bit and helped build up this entire team and built this community. Now this like amazing thing is going to happen. What shape that's going to take, I
That's
don't know,
awesome.
but I mean it's happening though.
It's starting.
Yeah.
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 See, and here's the
That's
thing. I
awesome.
wish, I wish I were, super intelligent when it comes to computers and things like that because I would love to be involved in something like that. It's like I wish I had something to
Mhm.
offer and bring to the table for that kind of collaboration because I'm telling you, That is exactly what we're looking at. And I think, bringing people together, like, again, just like with, I'm going to listen with my haunt, right? So a Pandemonium of Fear, guess what? We had the teaser haunt here in Banter last year for a little bit. After
Mhm.
Alt Space, we had to we set up last minute in VRC because it was working. Everything went great. And thank God it was good and everything. But, then we had the teaser here in Banter. So now we're going to have a fully fleshed out version here in Banter this year. But what I'm doing is also having the one in VR because again, I want to be in different locations. But here's the thing. It's going to be cross promotion, which is what I like to do. There are going to be more people coming into Banter because what happens is they're going to be in VRC, they're going to go through that haunt, and then it's going to be on a different day. The story's going to continue here in Banter in a completely different format.
Woo.
The format I'm doing in VRC, I'm doing a completely different format here in Banter. It's going to be unique in here, and it's going to be incredible. And if people want to see what happens with Faye, is she really dead? Is she found? Is she here? Well, they're going to have to come over to Banter to find out. So there's a lot of fun stuff with that, and that's I mean, and I know I go on and on. I'm sorry, guys, but I just feel so strongly. I get really frustrated when I see people who are like, that's mine, not yours. I'm not going to share. I'm not going. Guess what? You know what? Take a second thought. Everybody who's in charge of every app, every company, seriously, guys, come together, get a summit of your brilliant minds, and stop just focusing on your wallet. Focus on your heart, because I know people, you got one in there, and sometimes you don't always bring it out. But it is about connection. It is about community. The community is what's going to keep your apps going, and it shouldn't be just your little local community in your app. It should be the entire multiverse. It should be everybody in VR. That's what's going to keep everything together. The community of VR for each and every one, not just one particular apps group. So anyway, I'm sorry. I gotta stop talking. God, this is horrible. Okay. Anyone have any other thoughts besides Psycho?
It's
Shut
a
the hell up.
passionate podcast today.
Keep
I'm
going,
sorry.
Psycho. We love you.
You get to know me. I get very passionate about things, guys. Root, do you have thoughts on anything that you want to share?
I just want you to run for president. That's it.
Again,
Hey,
Root,
man.
listen. I love you, and I do what I can to support you, but 7 times attempting this is a bit much. Okay, so and you've got to stop with the vodka bottles in public. It's not attractive look for you, Rude. I'm just saying. Oh, I'm so sorry. That was no. Okay, that was too personal. Anybody else have any thoughts on any of that? Okay, Trey, is that okay? Awesome. Can you make it, Trey? Huh?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I agree with you 1000%. Like
Oh, thank you.
this, yeah,
Thank God. Thank
this
God.
what
Thank
like
God.
not even just banter. Like this whole world, like if everybody just come together, it's just
Yeah.
amazing of what we could accomplish. Like
Yeah.
like amazing. So yes, I just
Yeah.
wanted to say that.
Thank you. Thank you. Because I was afraid next
Mhm.
week we'd have nothing but crickets here. They'd be like, yeah, Psycho scared everybody away. But but yeah, I think that that's wonderful. Because you know how in the world it's like, you know what, there shouldn't be any kind of discrimination with things. You know how people say, okay, I don't see race, I don't see gender. Well, you know what? I don't see apps. You know what? I don't see apps as being separate and by themselves. To me, I see community. With VR, I see us all together in community, not in specific apps. And that's how I see it. And so that's why I feel bad because I'm rambling and I'm so sorry about that. But I get passionate about something, and Faye, you need to shut me up because
It's okay.
because you're not the boss of me. But yeah, she's totally the boss of me. Yeah, but
We
you're
like
not the boss
listening
of
to
me.
you
But
ramble.
just asking to remind me. Okay. So I want to kind of take a break away from tech for just a second because I want to let you guys know about kind of I like to throw little public service announcements and things in here. So health, which is very important to me. That was my area of study and everything too. There is, how many of you guys, jump up and down, how many of you like orange soda? Anybody drink that? Okay.
I shouldn't.
Oh, I know none of us should, right? But we still, come on, we do, right? My God, I have a health
shouldn't,
degree
but
and
I
I,
do.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, trust me. You look at me and you'd be like, "I'm sorry, Psycho. You did what with a health degree, a personal trainer? What? And you look like this? Yeah, no." So this is the thing. The FDA is possibly finally going to outlaw an ingredient in orange soda. And listen to this: it's prohibited around the world, but it's used in citrus flavored sodas to keep the tangy taste. And what happens is it's a modified vegetable oil, BVO, which is called let me see, brominated vegetable oil. Now listen to this. Since the 1930s, it's been around to make sure that the citrus flavoring agents that are in the sodas, this is gross, that they don't float to the top of the soda. Okay.
Oh,
And studies have shown that that builds up in fatty tissue. So if I drank orange orange drinks, man, I'd be screwed, right? Woo! It'd be like Psycho with 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 your fatty tissue. We'll have your funeral tomorrow. And so the
oh
thing
no.
about it though is that it also does other stuff though. It can build up in the tissue, but it can stop your thyroid from working the way it's supposed to.
Whoa.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's already banned in many countries, including Japan, India, and a lot of the European Union. And it was outlawed in California in 2022. However, the legislation will not take effect until 2027. It's like, really, guys?
What the heck?
Thanks for outlawing it in
Wow.
2022, and let's just wait 5
Wow.
years for it
I
to
guess
continue
they just
destroying
want
our
to,
bodies.
go ahead and let the bodies start deteriorating for 5 years and see what
Yeah,
happens.
right? I mean, it's
For science.
ridiculous. Well, I tell you something. This is really I had done, and again, in studying this stuff, I did not know this. So this is kind of scary when you think about the different ingredients in food
is.
and stuff.
Mhm.
In
It is.
1950, the FDA said in the 50s, the FDA said it was something GRAS. They rated it as that, which is generally regarded as safe. We've seen that before. And it's a rating that they gave for things that were tested appropriately or or for ingredients that were already in common use prior to 1958 that don't appear harmful.
Oh my gosh.
So in the 1960s, questions about BVO were being raised regarding the toxicity. Back in the 60s, guys, they started questioning this stuff. So then they changed their rating to something they called temporarily limiting its use to relatively small amounts. So basically, the concentrations were tinier, but it was still there, right? So in 1970, there was a study in the UK that showed the buildup in human tissue was massive. And in animal studies, they found that a high concentration of BVO was linked to heart and behavioral problems. And that makes me
Oh
wonder, do
man.
you take a leap and say kids drinking the orange soda who drink it ad nauseum, who maybe show some neurodivergent qualities, could that be something that could affect, some neurological qualities? Could it affect
Wow.
behavior? Could it, could some of the reason kids are acting a certain way be affected by it?
Because
I
of what
mean, it's a
they're
leap, but it's a
consuming.
possibility, right?
Gosh.
So Pepsi and Coca-Cola have been phasing that out for the past decade. And as a result, the FDA is now starting to review more food additives, and they're looking to probably prohibit some food coloring that causes cancer in humans. So that's something they're considering doing, which basically says food coloring that we have is causing cancer in humans, but it's still around. So, there you go. How do you
Wow.
feel about that, Faye? What do you think about all that stuff?
I mean, as we have more and more things that we come across over the years, we do find that they cause things. We do find that this causes this and this causes this. But when they actually do find without any kind of doubt that it is causing problems, I don't understand why it takes so long to outlaw fully. I mean, if the other countries are adopting the outlaw, why does the US take so long? Why outlaw it in California and wait 5 years until it takes effect? I don't get it. It's
I know.
frustrating. It's confusing.
Yeah, legislation. I don't
Yeah.
understand how things
Too
take
much
that long. Do you guys have
bureaucracy.
any thoughts about that? Anybody jumping up and down if you have any thoughts about it? Yeah, Kitty?
Yeah, I just going back to your thing about the orange pop and the possible
Mhm.
link with
Mhm.
behavioral
Mhm.
problems. I can see that being a thing because I know, like, I went through stuff with my kid. He was diagnosed with like oppositional defiance disorder and stuff like that. And there
Mm.
was a whole thing about eliminating certain foods and like certain things in foods like red dye number 5 and stuff like that. And when you start
Yeah.
taking some of those things out, and you can even look it up online, there is a lot of changes and things that
Mhm.
you can see in behavior by eliminating those types of additive like foods with those types of additives. So
Mhm.
Wow.
I don't drink a lot of orange pop, but I'm definitely not going to drink any more myself
I know.
after hearing
I
this.
know. It makes you think, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it makes you
seriously,
think.
Absolutely.
how gross.
Yeah.
Picture that. Something that's
Yeah.
in there that wants to rise to the top of your soda,
Mhm.
right? Like a film, and they're open, but we're going to keep it to where it doesn't do that. But it wants to. How gross!
But
Think
it's
of how gross that
actually
is.
there. Ugh.
Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
still ingesting
That's
that.
gross.
You know,
Yep.
it's just not as pretty. Yeah. Andre.
First of all, I am from Europe, so I trust this stuff.
Mhm.
The second thing is that I am from Eastern Europe, so the communist bloc, it was a joke about the brom, that in the army you eat a lot of brom to reduce
Oh, the
the
bromides, like you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it was a joke because they put brom in the food to reduce the, I don't know, the intercourse and thinking like that.
Mhm.
So
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh man.
maybe it's real. I don't know, but the
Yeah.
Eastern Communist
That's
Bloc,
fascinating.
it was a joke about that.
Well, bromide
Huh.
does interfere with the thyroid function. I mean that it
Yeah,
does. I mean they have proven that, so it does make sense. Okay, yeah.
Mm.
Wow, that's tense.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
only a joke, but
Dan. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh yeah.
yeah, it's okay.
Oh
Go
no.
ahead.
Okay. All right. No, that's. Thank you for bringing that up, Diego.
Mhm.
What's your thought?
Yeah. First, I want to say thank you for ruining orange soda for me. And
No.
I
Right.
didn't. I don't drink it often, but when I was a kid, my parents would drop us off at the roller rink and like at 10 o'clock at night and then pick us up at like 6 in the morning. They'd lock the doors and we'd have an all night roller skate.
Wow.
And
That's fun.
there was a drink that you could get from the thing that the kids all stuff knew. And I don't like the name, but it was called the Suicide. And it
Okay.
was all the sodas in one drink. And to
Oh.
this day, every once in a while, I will go to a convenience store and I'll make me that word.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
orange soda is always, if it doesn't have orange soda, I can't make that drink. But you mix it with cherry Coke, Sprite, Dr.
Wow.
Pepper, and the orange and root beer. And it's the
Does it
most
taste
amazing
nasty
drink.
though?
No,
Is it
it's
gross?
good.
Sounds weird.
No, but it has to be like
I'll
root beer,
try it.
orange, Coke,
Without
cherry
the
Coke,
orange.
and all those, and some Sprite, or a Mountain Dew. Just mix them all together.
Oh.
But if it doesn't have the orange soda in it, and you don't put a lot of each, you just fill up your cup with a little bit of your favorite sodas. No diets, of course. And like once
Of
every
course.
few months, I'll go get me a
Of course.
Suicide, and it's just the most amazing thing. But I just remember that
Oh
from my
my
childhood. So
God.
Huh.
I've never
just
heard of that. We're going to talk about that tomorrow because I want to get a list of what you put in that. I want to try that. Are you kidding? That sounds amazing. Oh
it
my God.
is.
Yeah.
And here, everyone in my
Just-
family, who's everyone in my family has diabetes, right? I do not, thank God, yet. Knock on wood.
Oh, no.
But here I'm like, it's like I don't want to push my luck, but at the same time, wow,
No.
that sounds
Yeah.
amazing. But you know what?
Oh
I'm just going
my
to point out
gosh.
an all-night roller rink thing. How fun is that, right? Oh
was a
my God,
blast.
that sounds amazing.
It
Mm.
was called
we do that in
Aquarius
VR?
Roll Arena.
Oh my God, let's do that in here, guys. Let's talk to Lean about like making a roller rink,
All night
and let's
skate.
have a thing where we like all get together and we
Night
hang out all
skate.
night. Oh God, how yeah,
We could
I'd
do
skate,
all
I know.
sorts of fun
Oh.
night things with glowy and all sorts of things. There's so much glowy.
Glowy. I love my
You can wear
glowy.
your glowy outfit.
If that wasn't obvious, glowy and water. I've got to have them both in my VR. Oh, okay. Well, that was awesome. And
love
Diego,
it.
thanks. Now I'm super thirsty, and I think I'm going to reach down and have a sip of my water.
I'll give you cheers with my
Orange
Diet
soda.
Coke. Cheers.
Diet Coke. Okay, we need
Thanks,
to have
while
a
I have
serious
water.
talk there.
I know.
No,
I have
go
my
away.
vitamin.
Oh, I'm a
I know. Oh yeah, Faye and Diet
When
Coke.
that
Oh yeah,
word,
no,
when I
100%.
grew up, we called it swamp water. So we called it
Yeah.
swamp water.
Oh, swamp
Okay.
water.
Yeah.
Okay, that
So we
sounds
call it
gross.
Swamp
though,
water?
dude. What is it
Wait,
with
what's
these
happening
drinks
with
that have
swamp
these
water?
names?
But it tastes
What is
good
it?
though.
Swamp water.
It does.
Who is it that I'm
I'd
making fun of? Is it
rather-
Razor that has the swamp water?
It was Kitty.
No,
Kitty.
you
it
just
was
heard
Kitty.
Kitty said-
Kitty,
Oh.
what's the swamp water?
It's exactly what Diego said. Growing up, we did that all the time as kids. We called it swamp water. Anywhere that had self-serve pop, you just go and you hit every tab with your cup and fill it up. And we would do that with we had slush puppies too. And when I was like
Oh, you could have that in.
13
Oh,
years
yeah.
old, yeah.
Wow.
So
The
I
worst.
worked at my dad worked for the town, so I got a job in the canteen at the arena, and people would come up and they'd order a slush and they'd be like, "Can I have have a swamp water slush. So I'd like squirt every flavor into the cup and then add the,
Oh my
the
gosh.
slushy mix. Yeah.
Say,
But
oh,
yeah,
nice.
I was just telling him if he didn't like the word that he knew it as, call it swamp water because it's the exact same thing.
Same thing.
Oh my
Swamp
God,
water is
that's
better.
incredible.
That's crazy.
So
We have an
here's the thing.
8-minute warning on
I
the end
know.
of the event, just letting you know.
Well, so here's the thing. It might go a little over, and since the next event that I know that's coming up is, of course,
Is
my
karaoke?
karaoke group.
Yeah,
I'm okay going
it
over with
works.
that, but there are a couple things because we can't.
Sure.
We have to have.
I think you
Uh-oh,
know
I'm
the
feeling,
person
I've
that's
gotta have a little
running it.
movement. I know the person that's
Wait.
running it. I'm good
Oh,
friends with her.
are you feeling something right now? Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
we have got to
waiting.
have
Oh,
this.
I
I'm feeling I
see.
gotta move,
Okay.
Faye, real quick. Can
Yes,
we do that? Because then I have a few
Yeah.
things to mention after this. But oh my gosh, we've got to move here, buddy. Yeah, come on, guys, dance break.
Everybody, come join us into the middle. We're gonna do a dance break. Woo! Yeah!
Body slam. Oh, damn, I spilled my swamp water.
Mosh pit.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right. 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 Woo. The bass is gonna drop. It's gonna drop. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Yeah! Woo, woo!
Start.
Ah. Woo! All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's some
Oh.
good tunes right there.
that was good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
I needed that.
Okay. My blood is
Right.
pumping now.
Thank you. Yeah, it is.
I
And now
enjoy
that we've been
hydrating with some
we've
swamp
been
water.
dancing around like that, now let's get some swamp water in here and a little suicide.
Yeah, okay.
Anybody got swamp water for us all?
That's really good. Got some swamp- got some wrong.
Now that we've been moving around like that, let's talk about lying down for a second. So,
Okay.
yeah, did you
Sounds
like see what I
good.
did there? I just came up with a segue. I'm not
ready.
kidding, I totally
Great
did, you
segue.
know.
Mhm.
As
yeah.
everything, I pull it directly from my behind, which seems to happen a lot. It's kind of what is in there? I wish I could pull like a Porsche from there. So here's the thing. So Meta 3, right? We're talking about the Meta Quest 3. It is going to be getting the lying down mode. So with
Oh,
the
yes.
update V63 since March 5th, I guess. So they have put in the experimental with Quest 2 and Quest Pro. They put in the experimental lying down mode with those
Yep.
for media playback and stationary VR apps only. And it was not in the Q3, and people are like, well, what's up with that, right? Well, it turns out Boz was talking about it, and he said that the delay is due to the Guardian system because it's different in the Q3. It uses a depth sensor, and it has a smart Guardian feature, and I guess it's it scans the environment, but then it includes furniture and it suggests like a safe play area, things like that. And so because of that, they're going to be bringing that out pretty soon. And now you told me about that one game for Q3 that you're lying down. What was that one again? I got it. I went and got it.
I'm Pillow.
Pillow, right? The
On
app. Yeah,
Pillow,
the
you
Pillow
can
app.
lie down. Yeah.
Yeah. So you tell me about that. And if you guys have anyone who with a Q3 that has a Pillow? Anyone jump up and down?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What are
Lots of
your
you.
thoughts on that? Jem, what are your thoughts on Pillow?
I like it. I do like it. I like the idea of being with my friends in there though. Like it's just
Mhm.
much fun when you're laying down, but it's so weird because you
It is
look
awesome.
over and you're like, "Oh, you're in my bed," kind of thing.
It's a puppy pile.
Yeah, it's kind of
What is
cool.
pillow? What is pillow?
But there
What
is another game that you can play laying down too, as well.
Oh, which one?
What's
It's
that?
a puzzle game and it's called Lines, Lines. And
Okay.
you can play
Oh.
that laying down and sitting up. And it's a puzzle. It's
Nice.
kind of a game where you got to get this like little ball. It's not a ball. It's like just like a light, and you got to get the light to go through this maze, and you got to make it go through all these certain things. But it's got so many levels. But you can play that one laying down as well.
Huh.
Oh.
Okay. Oh,
Sounds
that's
cool.
Yeah.
interesting. And Faye, can you explain to them what Pillow is? Because I know Root was asking what Pillow was too.
Sure. Yeah, Pillow is a game that is meant to help you try to fall asleep. So they have all sorts of different things. They have you lay down on your bed and you select what you want. You can have an interactive story that's like a choose your own adventure, and they'll have beautiful things out for you to be able to watch and while you're hearing the story and reading the story. They have a Do you remember a long time ago, Lucas Rizzo had created this amazing app where you would put your thoughts. It was called My Thoughts, and you would record an answer to a question, much like the circle that we do here in Banter, where a question is asked and you answer your question. Well, you would record your answer to the question of the day in the app, and then you would just release it out into the world, and it would be these floating balls and orbs that would go around all of the area, and then everybody would log in each day, and you could pluck one of those from the void and listen to it and listen to people's personal answers to their questions, never knowing their name, knowing who they were or anything, just hearing their stories, and then you'd release it out again. It was very cathartic. And then when it came time for you to answer your question, you would do the same thing, and then it was just releasing it out and just seeing it float out there. It was really cool. Pillow has that too, where you're answering a question
Oh.
and making your recording and releasing
that
it out
seems
there.
kind of cool.
It's really
Oh,
cool.
are you frozen?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were
someone
frozen for a
freeze?
minute.
Oh no, I'm
I thought
here.
you did.
I didn't freeze.
Although I'm
And
seeing
then
Jem standing up. See, this is weird. I see Jem and Razor frozen, and maybe it's just me. Oh no.
maybe you're the one that needs help.
Oh my God! How rude.
She
Could
is
maybe
kinda cool,
re-enter
though.
the space.
I'm going to, but it's really it's actually kind of cool because if I'm looking at you guys, the tableau
Uh-huh.
is like amazing, and here Jem is so funny because she's in mid jump, like she's like
Yeah.
frozen
You
there,
should take a
and then
screenshot
Razor's
of
like
it.
partially. Yeah,
You should
let me
take a
see if I-
picture.
okay, let
Take
me
an Oculus picture.
yeah.
While
All
I
right.
finish the description.
Thank
So
you,
Okay.
Faye.
in
I'm
the
glad you can
same
still hear
vein
me.
as My Thoughts, that thing where you're releasing the thing, Pillow has a system where you are fishing, and you hear other people's thoughts about a question, like whatever the question of the day is, and then you get to go ahead and record your own and throw it out there. It's really cool. And then there's some
That's
things about the
amazing.
constellations, but yeah, Jem, what do you have to say? Let
Yeah,
me.
because what else is nice
No, wait.
about that?
You're not
Oh,
megaphone. I
sorry.
couldn't reach you. Okay,
Sorry.
go ahead.
What else is nice about that is because even when you are with a friend in Pillow and you're
Mhm.
recording your thoughts, your friend next to you cannot hear your thoughts being recorded.
Oh,
I never noticed that. I did it
Yeah,
with
they
Chris, and
cannot.
I didn't ask if he could hear me.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
no, you
interesting.
cannot hear each other
Huh.
record your thoughts, so it's sacred to you only when you throw it out. So,
Wow.
yeah, you
Oh,
oh,
can't
that's
hear
cool.
it.
oh, that's
Yeah, I had
interesting.
no idea.
I love the
Really
idea of
cool.
that though. When you said that you turn your head and they're friends, and it's kind of cute because
Yeah.
different generations, right? But there are where people are you're comfortable, you cuddle with your friends, and stuff like that. And some some people are comfortable, some are not. It depends on your relationship, but they have puppy piles, and they have the people that are professional cuddlers.
Mhm.
You can pay someone to cuddle with
Yeah.
you and spoon you in the bed, right?
Mhm.
Because it comes down to that. As human beings, we need physical touch. We need that connection
Mhm.
with people. And I just think I love the idea of being able to be in the bed with your friends because when we were younger, we did that kind of stuff and we hung out and got to, watch
Oh
movies
yeah.
and just kind of cuddle together. And I have one of my friends,
Tent
she likes
forts.
she'll just pet your hair, when you're lying your head on her lap or something. I mean, so it's really cute because I think it comes down to people being secure in themselves, of course, and being comfortable with others. And it's okay if
Mhm.
people aren't. But I think and I think physical connection is important. Like when I when I'm away from friends and people in my life and I can't physically touch them like
Faye, what
That's
happens if you don't
amazing.
have
Wait,
friends?
who's asking me?
Wait, jump up and down if you
I just
can you
couldn't
see.
hear.
Yay!
Okay, Roots.
What
Yeah,
what
what's
Oh,
up?
happens
Root.
if you don't have a friend to join you? What is the experience? You just
Aw,
hang
Root.
out
It
I'll
is an
join you.
alone
Aw.
experience unless
Yeah,
you have a
we
friend
can
like
join
with a
together.
code.
don't
I don't
don't
think
have
that there's
time.
like a social
Hmm.
aspect where you're just matched with people. Maybe that's a thing in the future that they are. But yeah, you could
future
definitely
dating
join your
website.
friends.
Yeah.
They could
Yeah,
come
but
on
can you
Meta.
imagine what would happen with that, guys? I mean,
Dating.
if you've got someone in Meta, you know,
Basically.
groping, can you imagine in an app like that?
Oh,
What kind
no.
of,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? Believe me, my gears are definitely ticking. Oh yeah. Boy, that is a
And
yummy,
this is
yummy
Let's
when
tasty.
just
we
say
get right,
sleeping with friends in the bed is very beneficial, if you know what I mean.
But yes, there can be
Jesus.
certain benefits. Oh, see what I did there? Yeah, you see how I did that? Okay, all right, I'm just gonna move on. So, with that said, guys, we'll
Mhm.
go ahead and bring this to a close, and want to say that. Do that. I understand, especially when you're faced with people that aren't acting like good humans. But please try to do your
Mhm.
best to set the example and to show grace to people and to yourself. You know, and reach out and help somebody. You know, look around and see who might need some help and help them out. And also, when you get up and you get in the mirror and you're brushing your teeth, look at that mirror and say one good thing about yourself. Okay, do that. Faye, any thoughts?
Hmm. Nothing. Sounds really great. I would tell everybody that we'll be here the same time, same place every week. Definitely come back and join us for Virtually Live. Loved having you today. It's been a great conversation and a lot of takeaway. I got to try lines. That looks
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
100%.
called a line light. Line light. That's what it's called.
Line
Line
Okay,
light.
light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
line. I'll look that
And
up
everybody
too. Yeah,
try
yeah.
Polo.
Awesome. 100%.
Hello.
Thank you guys. Thank
Okay.